Hello everybody and welcome back to Surfact Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearance of the Week. This is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. We'll be giving you all the first appearance in your comic shops today. Now this week we got a pretty good lineup for you guys. I think we have 5 first appearances, 3 honorable mentions, so 8 titles all to go through. Definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearance of the week ending January 31st, 2025. First up from DC Comics, Green Lantern number 19. This features the possible first appearance of Odyssey, a time bandit. Now, we always mention this with the possible first appearances. Definitely get confirmation that this is indeed the first full appearance of this character before you pick this up. If it's not, then this here might not go anywhere. We don't have confirmation yet. This book just comes out later on today. Now, we also mention this all the time with the DC first appearances. DC doesn't have the same cinematic power that Marvel Disney has, so they have to do something spectacular with the first appearance of new characters in their comics to get buzz in the industry, to actually get collectors and fans to race out and buy these books. That could be introducing these characters into a small screen, big screen project, bringing them across other storylines, other story arcs, creating some word of mouth excitement for these characters to actually get people to want to pick up this issue. So with all that being said, this here will be a little bit more speculative. If you do want to pick this up for a spec bet though, make sure you do get confirmation that this is the first full appearance. If it is, maybe worth picking up for a spec. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put it in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Marvel Comics, Psylocke number 3. This features the first appearance of the Taxonomist, a dangerous new villain tracking Psylocke. So in contrast to the DC Comics, you typically do want to pick up the first appearance of new characters in the Marvel titles. Because like I always mention, Marvel Disney is still turning on a ton of media for the small screen and big screen. If they bring any of these characters they're introducing in the comics onto the screen, collectors will race back to the comics to try to find these first appearances. This here is the first appearance of Taxonomist in the Psylocke title series. Don't really know how important this character is going to be. Don't know how big of a collector base and fan base there is for Psylocke the title series or for Psylocke the character. Having said that though, they are introducing this new character into this series, so it may be worth picking up. Will be a little more speculative because like I said, don't really know the depth of the collector market for Psylocke. But once again, this is part of the Marvel Universe and they are introducing a new character, so it may be worth picking up. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Marvel Comics, Sabertooth, The Dead Don't Talk number 2. This features the first appearance of the Crocodilian. Now, I don't really know how important the Crocodilian is going to be in the Marvel Universe, but this is a new character being introduced into a Marvel title. This is the Sabertooth, The Dead Won't Talk title series. So this is definitely a subset or B series for Marvel Comics. So this one here definitely going to be a little more speculative. They have to do something important with this Crocodilian character, bring this character across other storylines, other story arcs, to get this character actually to be collectible and have fans want to take interest in this particular issue. So this one is definitely going to be speculative, but you know, for $3 or $4, might be worth picking up. Like I said, typically worth picking up the first appearance of Marvel titles. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. Next up from Marvel Comics, Storm Life Dream number 1. This features the first team appearance of the Intergalactic Historians. Now, the Storm Life Dream series is definitely a subset series for Marvel Comics. This is not one of their main title series. And the fact that they're introducing this new team, these Intergalactic Historians, into this subset series, this one here is definitely going to be speculative. Storm, though, this character has a huge fan base, huge collector base, so the draw of the character herself may be enough to bring some fans and collectors to this issue. And like I said, they are introducing this new team into this issue, so if this team has some important in the overall Marvel Universe, then this here one may be important. But currently, I would say this is probably still a spec. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list and take a look at it later on. And finally from Dark Horse, Star Wars The High Republic Adventures Phase 3 Annual. This features the first appearance of Churro the Hutt. Now this is one we definitely think you should pick up for your collection. Anytime they introduce a new character into a Star Wars title, these are books you want to own. It doesn't really matter if it's Marvel published or Dark Horse. You know, Marvel Disney is still churning out a ton of media for the Star Wars franchise. If they bring this character to the screen, collectors are going to race back to the comics to try to find this first appearance. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if it's Marvel or Dark Horse. And this actually features the first appearance of this character Churro the Hutt, so this definitely seems like a character they could bring into the small screen and big screen, even if it is only an animation. So this is one we do think you should pick up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one. And now for the honorable mentions. From Image Comics, Blood Train number 1. A group of friends must make a difficult choice to kill one of their own who was infected by a bioweapon while backpacking through Asia. Now this sounds like it can lend itself easily to a small screen, big screen project, and Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up an option in the past. Like I always remind you guys, if these small press and indie publishers that get option for the screen, that's a huge price driver, that's definitely going to kick up the price in the secondary market, even if it never makes it to the screen. So this one here, in our opinion, has great option potential. Definitely going to be speculative because you are specking on this getting option, hitting the screen, and get a lot more eyes on this title series. But like I said, great spec in our opinion. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from Image Comics, The Seasons #1. Spring is the only hope of salvation for her sisters, Summer, Winter, and Autumn, who have fallen prey to sinister forces. Like I just mentioned a moment ago, Image Comics has had a lot of their titles picked up on option for small screen, big screen projects. And typically once you get a foot into Hollywood, the producers, production houses will always look back into your past catalog and your present releases to see what you have coming out, to see what they can pick up for the screen. This is another one, in our opinion, that has great option potential. So another great spec bet. Grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but keep an eye on this one as well. And finally from Mad Cave, Kill Train #1. A single mom discovers she is on New York's randomized population control program, the Kill Train, and is determined to fight for her life before the deadly last stop. Now this here's another one that sounds like it can lend itself easily to a small screen, big screen project. You know, Mad Cave hasn't had a lot of their titles picked up in option in the past, but they have had some attention on their titles recently, and this one here, like I said, sounds great for the screen. Another one with great option potential. This here's one we do think you should probably pick up for your collection if you can. It will be speculative, but like I said, great option potential. Story sounds like it can easily translate to the screen. So grab this here for a spec if you can. If you can't, put in your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. So there you have the 8 titles we have for you guys this week. There's definitely some books in there you guys should pick up for your collection. So please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Sabertooth Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.